I'm sure you know most of this, but maybe there's a couple hands that are are easy to forget. I'm sure, like I said, you know most of these plays, but we'll talk through some of the hands that may present, to question why and talk through them. This is the dealer's hand. You only see, obviously, the one card. And this is a player saying anytime you have a 17 or above, you're pretty much always going to stand, okay? We get into some soft 17 and some soft total 7, which we'll talk about. But 17 or above, no matter pretty much what the dealer has up, you're going to stand. Now, the way to learn this is it's a process. The first thing you want to do is you definitely want to sit down with cards and look at them, and then print any basic strategy chart off that you can get. I mean, they're all over the internet. They're all over the place. And I'm just going to talk right now about the single deck games. There are some tweaks we'll do for multiple deck games when we're playing basic strategy, but for now we're just talking about single deck basic strategy chart. There's a couple more doubles and things like that in it, but in any event, 17 and above, you stand, okay, against a 10, okay? Same thing, 17 above against an ace or pretty much anything, the 10 ups. You pretty much always stand with 17 or above, okay? Okay, now let's take a look at some of the stiff hands. Let's start with 12. So if you have a hard 12, okay, let's give you a hard 12 here. Okay, and let's say the dealer has a 2-up. This may be something, in this situation, basic strategy calls for a hit. A lot of people stand on it. When you play clump style, sometimes it calls for a stand, but strict basic strategy without counting is definitely a hit, okay? Same also with your 12 against a 3, and you'll see people argue with you about this at the casino. 12 against a 3, it's a hit. I mean, more cards, your chances of busting are slim. Well, not necessarily slim. I mean, there's 4 10 cards that'll take you over the top, 10, Jack, Queen, King, which are all 10 value callers. Anything else, some may improve your hand and get you in a better position, or some just may get you closer to breaking, at which point you're going to stand. So this is the one where a lot of folks kind of miss. You're going to go ahead and stand, or hit, your 12 against a 2-up or a 3-up. Okay, against a 4-up, let's talk about that. You're going to stand. You're going to stand against a 4. You're going to stand against a 5. And you're also going to stand against a 6, obviously. Okay. And hope that the dealer breaks. And by the way, that's the only way you can win. When the dealer has less than 17, in case you didn't figure that out yet, the only way you can win is if the dealer breaks. Okay, so there's that. Okay, again, anything above that, if the dealer has any potentially pad hand against any stiff, okay, whether it's 12, 13, 14, 15, or 16 that you have, okay, you're going to hit. So if you're in this situation, 12 against a 7, it's a potentially pad hand. It doesn't assume that there's a 10 in the hole, okay, but it plays it like there's a 10 in the hole. So that may be an easy way to remember it, but I think it's pretty common. When do you hit? Anytime the dealer has a potential pad hand against a stiff hand. So if any one of these cards were your cards, you would hit this. 3, 14, right? 15, or 16. These all result in hits trying to improve your hand. No matter what the dealer's up card is, anything that's a potentially pad hand, 8, of course 10, 9, 10, or ace. And I think it's important to see the cards and look at them. Now, as I said, the only place you're going to run into any ambiguity, and it's real easy to take care of right now, is when the dealer has a 2-up. Okay, when they have a 2-up and you have a 12. 12 against a 2 is a hit. Okay, again, the only one you may forget, 12 against a potential 3 is also a hit. So that pretty much takes care of quite a few hands, okay? Everything else you stand. Anything where the dealer has a potential pat hander up, you're going to go ahead and hit it. If you have 17 or above, you're going to go ahead and stand, obviously against any dealer card. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so let's talk about some other hands now. And again, you can deal yourself hands. I always thought the best way to practice is to simply go to the casino, you know, get yourself a little strategy card, sit there and watch the hands. How would you play it? How would you play it? You know, in less than 24 hours, you pretty much have every play mastered. Okay, so let's talk about now some hands below that can't be busted on two cards. Let's talk about 11, okay? And of course, we all like to see an 11. Will give us a 6 and a 5. And of course, with this, it's critical that you have the option to go ahead and double your hands in this case, okay? So when do you double? Okay, in a single deck, with rare exceptions, you're going to double everything all the time. And remember, sometimes you can double for less. The only thing is, you don't want to double. There's only one exception when you don't double, and you don't want to double against an ace. Okay, in this situation, you know, you just go ahead and hit your hand, okay? And then play it according to whatever you get. If you get anything over 17, you're going to stand. You get anything less than that, then of course you got the option to rehit. When you double, you forfeit your option to rehit, obviously. So pretty easy to remember 11. Double against everything except an ace, okay? If you hit it against the ace, as you should, and you get maybe a 3 or a 2, okay? Obviously, just play it according to the chart again. Go ahead and rehit it, and hopefully you'll improve the hand, okay? Pretty easy. Okay, not too bad. Okay, against a dealer 10, what are we doubling? Okay. Well, we're going to go, actually, it's the same. You always double the 11. What I meant to say is, if we have a 10, forgive me. Let's get a 5 out there. A pair of nickels. See if I can find another 5. Okay, so if we have a 10, when are we going to double? Okay. With single deck, the only two times that you're not going to double is against a 10 or against the ace. Obviously, just hit, and depending upon what card you get, make your decision from there. If it's still a hand less than 17, for instance, if you hit it with this and it's an ace, you're going to go ahead and hit again, and hopefully you'll improve the hand, okay? Same thing with the 10. Do not double against a 10, 10 against a 10. Do not double. Needless to say, don't split them, okay? Everything else, the dealer has any other card up, go ahead. This would be a double. Okay, get the idea? Okay, great. Not too bad. 9. 9 can be one that is easy to forget. Sometimes a lot of people miss a couple of them. It's a little bit more aggressive playing a 9 with respect to doubling in single deck than it is in multiple deck. They don't double as much in multiple deck games with 9. But you just got to remember, always double a 9 when it's 3 through 6. You know, how do you remember that? 9 is divisible by 3. Might be a way to do it. And then double that. So 3 through 6, you just have to memorize it. Any other time, you're simply going to hit, of course. 3 through 6, so obviously this would be a double. That would not be a double. You don't want to double it against a 2. There's too many options for the dealer not to break, okay? So that's one of the exceptions with 9, is do not double a 9 against a 2. Let's go ahead and look at all the other options. Do not double against a 10. Double against a 3. Obviously double against a 6. Do not double against a deuce. Double against a 4. Do not double against a 9. Okay, against an 8, just hit. Against a 7, just hit. Against a 5, go ahead and double. Against an ace, do not double, just hit. And of course against a 10. Okay, so with 9 in single deck, again, do not double against a deuce. okay? Or anything 7 or greater, okay? No doubles. Okay, there we have that. Okay, 5 through 8, obviously, you're always just going to hit it. Anytime you have a 5 through an 8, total, whether it be a soft 5 or a soft 8 or a hard 8, it's not really a hard 8, a 2-card 8, I guess I should say. All the time, no matter what the dealer has up in single deck, you're just going to go ahead and hit. Okay, you don't want to be doubling a total of 8. Okay, why? Because the average dealer hand, they say, is probably about 19.2, I think they say, in multiple deck. So, you know, if you get a 10, you know, that's only 18. You're not even going to beat the average dealer hand. Okay, so anything 5 through 8, just hit it. Okay. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of the first half of the chart. The exceptions, okay, let's review them. If the dealer has a 2 up, okay, and you have a hard 12, that's a hit. You have an 11, double everything except against an ace. Sometimes I think it's important to see them. You're going to double everything except if the dealer has an ace, okay? 10, sometimes people remember it as when you have a 10, double everything 2 through 9, okay? So 2 through 9 and then 10, okay? So let me get a 10 up here. There's your 10. Double everything 2 through 9. Do not double against an ace. Do not double against a 10, but double anything 2 through 9. All these up cards would be a double with a 10. Okay, 9. When you have a 9, remember what it is? Anybody? Divise, remember the divisor 3? It's always 3 through 6. You're going to double your 9 when you have a 3 through 6. Okay, this would be a double. That is not a double. That is not a double. That is a double. That is a double. That is not a double, obviously. That is not a double. Okay. 5 through 8, hit your hand. Okay. Okay, so now let's talk about our soft totals.
This is Keith Smith, the founder of BeatTheCasino.com. Thank you for your interest in BeatTheCasino.com. Join our International Players Club and learn the methods for becoming a consistent winner. We have hundreds of training videos to assist you. Engage daily with professional players. Utilize statistical tools to analyze real shoes, all designed to turn you into a consistent winner. Join now. Don't make another bad bet. For the price of one green chip bet, you can learn to win. We are not system sellers. We are a club of winners helping each other. Learn how to win at Baccarat and Blackjack. These videos only etch the surface of what you can learn. Get the full version of the videos as a premium member. Join the Players Forum at BeatTheCasino.com. It's more fun when you win. We are the real deal.